Welcome back, race fans, to another exciting race tonight. Tonight we are with the champion Motorsports Sunday Night Truck Series. We are going to be here at Daytona International Super Speedway. Well, there is currently an actual race going on out here at Daytona, the 500 in NASCAR. I'm currently kind of eyeballing that one to see my current bets going on right now, but we are getting ready to grid here, actually, with our main group. And,
all right.
Oh.
Hello?
Kevin, do you read me?
I told them if they need to fucking yell.
We're fucking live! Alright. So, as we have it, we are back and we are gridding. We are currently pacing actually around the, I believe, the back straightaway here.
Yeah, that's my apology. I got a little bit of a Daytona party going on downstairs. I told them, if they gotta yell, try not to yell as loud as they have been because, we are live.
Hey, it happens. But taking a look at our current grid as we get ready to enter the back straightaway here, it's going to be Drew Lidke taking the pole here. And I know, Kevin, this is usually your specialty. I don't know if you want to take the grid from us here, but I will go ahead and I believe we are getting the grid transferred over to us at the moment. And the guys downstairs.
Yeah, and we have 100 laps of madness tonight, Luke. I'm real excited for this one with CMS. Is going to be our first race with them. I know there's a lot of talented drivers in this series. A lot of guys that, we got to be keeping our eye on for a win tonight.
Hey, there's a lot of talented drivers out here, a very strong field. Coming out of our race yesterday, I know it was definitely an exciting one. It lasted way longer than anticipated.
Yeah, and for the grid, I'd like to just get it started.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll talk later.
On the pole, we got Drew Lidke, and front row is going to be him and Dargent. Second row, we're going to get Chris Hudson and Davis Braun. Third row is going to be Noah Loveridge and Jose Medina. Fourth row is going to be Marcos Hernandez and Tim Collier. Fifth row is going to be Matt Ramona, Brian Sabelski. And we are actually going green, so we're just going to get those top 10. The rest of them, we'll learn together as we see the tower coming up. But we are green here in Daytona in the trucks. We have 100 laps of madness in this one, Luke. A lot of excitement to come. Are you excited for this one?
Hey, I know I'm excited, Kevin. We got a long one here. Hopefully not going to be as long as our previous one with the previous race at the Midwest. I believe, what did we call that one? The Midwest 6 hour.
Yeah, thank God it was only 6 hours because I was getting really tired last night, Luke.
Kevin, I am actually still tired. I am actually, as a matter of fact, didn't get too much sleep before work, unfortunately. But I'm still staying awake here, and we're getting her done.
Yeah, that we are. And Lidke's going to be in the lead for this one. He's about less than a car length up their single file through the first four. And then it's going to be Collier and Medina back there, 2x2. And we have a strong field tonight. I'm really excited. We have 21 cars in this one. 100 laps, anything can happen. A lot of time. Nothing needs to happen now is what I'm trying to get at, Luke.
Yeah, with a lot of time still left here on this race, and we're still very early in on this, I think most of these drivers are going to be trying to keep it, just try to keep it contained, keep it as smooth as possible. I know our previous broadcast here, we saw a lot of trouble whenever they decided to go 3 wide here, so maybe hoping to see a little bit more clean racing. I know I'm wanting to see a little bit more green flags. I'm hoping for at least a green pit by here in this race. I don't know about you.
Yeah, and I think we are going to see one. I know a lot of these guys are very experienced drivers. It's not as much of a skill gap as we saw last night. So, interesting to see as we're going on to lap 3 here. Lidke's still in the lead with Hudson to follow, Braun to follow him, and Medina and Dargent. Dargert.
So far, so good here as we enter that back straightaway. Lidke and Hudson really leading off strong here in that front group. As we go and take a look at the battle box, we're going to be sitting on board Jose Medina. That's going to be he's going to be sitting right around P5. We got a lot of movement going around him.
Yeah, he's already up 3 spots. We're not seeing much activity happening as far as getting around people, but him and Collier now at 4 spots. They're both making moves fast here at Daytona. As we are now 2 wide all the way back, except for the leader of Lidkey. He's going to be all out on his own in the inside line. But we're getting a little shaky there on the backstretch. They sorted it out, though. They got it under control.
Nice checkups there. Nice checkups.
Yeah, and I think our issue last night was when the cars got a little bit shaky, Luke, it got worse and worse from there. It never at any point was, recovered like we just saw.
Yeah, it's good to see the strength of these drivers out here. A very, very strong, just taking a quick look here at the safety ratings of these drivers. A lot of A-class drivers out here. Still a bit of a spread field, but it's definitely a higher field than we saw in our previous race. So maybe a bit of a change up here from the constant yellows we've been used to seeing.
Yeah, and we're now 5 laps in, and it's been a clean one so far. It's really exciting to see, We're huge fans of the green flag racing around here.
Oh, no doubt.
Hudson giving great pushes to Lidkey, keeping them out single file in the lead.
That outside line kind of dying off back there. They're going to be back about 5 cars, but they're looking to regain some momentum here. Looks like they're starting to kind of catch back up there. Yep, starting to get some movement there on that outside line.
Yeah, and just not as many cars on that line.
Trucks, sorry.
Trucks.
That's gonna forget that one a few times tonight, I have the feeling.
Yeah, probably, Luke. It gets a little confusing.
But it does, and yeah, a lot of nice checkups here in this race so far. A lot of strong driving early on, and I love to bring it back to this the same topic every single night, Kevin. Any schemes out here catching your eye early on?
Yeah, right now we're actually wearing a 24 shirt. I'm a big Jeff Gordon guy, so I think running P3 or P4, I think that's going to be the 25 car Braun in the old
Yep, Davis Braun right there. Yep, look at that.
I'm just going to stick to that one for now, but yeah, a lot of good-looking schemes out here tonight.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Your leaders up in the front, it's going to still be Drew Lidkey holding strong up there in that P1 position.
Yeah, and I don't really want to get off topic too much here, Luke, but I would like to say Ryan Preece just went flying through the air in the Daytona 500 as that race is rounding its end.
Oh my.
Couple rolls for him, but I think he's okay.
You gotta hope we don't see the same kind of events happening out here in our race at Daytona tonight.
Yeah, you gotta hope.
And just a reminder for all the viewers out there that maybe remembering from last night, this is this lobby is timed at 2 hours. So assuming these drivers keep it clean for the most part throughout the duration of this race, we shouldn't have to have any cut time decision like we had in our previous race.
Yeah, and Luke, I'm not sure what the settings are on the fuel, but I know the fuel window is about 50 to 55 laps on these trucks at Daytona, if it is 100% fuel. So another thing we're gonna have to pay attention to is we're definitely gonna have to see at least, at very minimum, one pit.
Oh, and we got a yellow, and there's cars wrecking behind them. Oh, and there's cars in the infield. Oh, and it's gonna include multiple cars here. We're going to go ahead and go back here to to the events that started that one. It looks like it's going to be, let's see, Pierre Robitaille going off the track there early. We're going to go ahead and pause here and hop to the chopper view. Or, matter of fact, we'll go and hop to the blimp view here and just take a look at what happened there on that one on the replay. And, oh, looks like a car just gets jammed up on the outside, and, oh, man, it collects a lot. Let's go ahead and go back and get a little bit closer and maybe get some more explanation to what happened in that one. And it looks like it's going to be up in front of them. It's tough to say who that is there. I believe that's the number 24, if I'm not mistaken. 24? Yeah, it's going to be Jose... Medina, I believe. Jose Medina, I believe. Let's go ahead and go back and take a look at that one. So he's going to be riding that outside line there. And what car is that on the outside there? That's the number 14. It's going to be Nicholas Bros. Just
huge pile up, at least
goodness.
6 of them, just with a lot of damage out here.
And yeah, I don't know what Bros was thinking there. He just cuts down low way too fast and way too low and just causes a big one out here early on in this one.
Yeah, and that monster car, just a lot of damage as he cannot clear the wreck. But we're seeing the pits early. I'm not sure what the rules are around fast repairs. I'm trying to figure that out right now, so I'm taking a look through the rules.
Take a look at the race info here. There is going to be one drivers are limited to one fast repair of the night.
And can you also check and see what fuel consumption is? If it shows it, I'm not quite sure.
It does not look like it's gonna be showing us the fuel windows, unfortunately. But we're gonna hopefully.
Well, one of them's gonna happen here, as most of the drivers are just gonna pit.
To
freshen up a little bit. So to be expected. Unfortunate for a lot of those drivers, but it is good that there is that fast repair option, Luke, to keep them out here.
And, you got to wonder, are some of these drivers going to use it early, or do you maybe hold on to it until later on, hope that you can, maybe utilize it a little later on in the race, maybe keep things a little more clean? I don't know. It definitely leaves the window for strategy here, especially early on. A lot of cars were involved in that first wreck early on, but it's going to be, I believe it's going to be Chris Hudson winning the race off pit road here. And I can't exactly tell. Does that say Can-Am on the back? A little bit of an inside joke there with me and Kevin.
It just might be.
Is it the Can-Am TV show, perhaps?
Yeah, Lidke's going to fall to P3 as he has led every lap of this race so far. So mixing it up a little bit, Tim Collier up into P2. He started in 8th. That's a good transfer for him the first 10 laps of this one. But yeah, that was a big incident, and I think a lot of these guys are going to use that fast repair. We're just going to have to wait and see on that one.
Let me see if I can get a quick count of how many drivers were possibly involved in that. We're going to see almost, 9, 10, 11 cars all involved in that altercation back there.
Yeah, and
That's
some of
be
them, just got roughed up a little bit. Some of them just too much to not take that repair on.
Yeah, it's going to be a little more than half the field collected, I believe.
Yeah, and while we're under caution, I would like to point out we are in overtime green right now on the Daytona 500. I'll keep you viewers updated on how that goes. On lap 1 of 2 with Denny Hamlin in the lead.
We're going to see even more cars go into the pits there. Trucks go into the pits there, sorry. Yeah, we're going to see multiple trucks here entering the pits.
And no surprise there. As we are now side by side, so it is going to be green this time by.
I'm trying to remember, Kevin. Did we get more laps in green in the previous race or this one thus far?
What was it?
I said, the difference between this race and the previous race we broadcasted. Do you think that we got more laps green so far in this one or the previous one before the first caution?
Oh, man, definitely this one.
Yeah. When did the first caution happen in that one? I'm trying to remember.
First caution, I think it was like 6 or 7, honestly. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
And, I'd like to point out mayhem just happened in the Daytona 500, and William Byron is going to be your winner. And how about a top 3 for Jimmy Johnson?
Well, wait a minute. Was it a Ford that won?
No, it was not Luke. It was a Chevy. William Byron.
I made no money tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I also made no money tonight. That's going to be back-to-back for Byron.
Green.
And we are green, led by Hudson, Collier in second, Lidkey, Braun, and Dargert. And Hudson out in front, I want to say. Not sure why it says he's in the pits, but that's inaccurate.
Yeah, it just
He's,
says that whenever it's the only for the lead car until he gets passed. Unfortunately, it's just going to say that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just currently showing him as the doesn't have him as a gap time yet. If we swap here, taking a look at our car manufacturer, it's going to be 2 Toyotas up front, followed by a mountain of Chevys all the way back until you get to P10, where it's going to be 2 more Toyotas and only 4 Fords here in your top 20. A lot more Toyotas out here than we're used to seeing, Kevin. I know we're usually used to seeing a lot more American manufacturers out here, but big representation by Toyota in the field here tonight.
Yeah, and we don't watch a lot of these truck races, so that's not surprising at all to see. I know Toyota's bigger in the trucks as opposed to the the Camrys, or whatever it is in the Cup. Okay, we're lap 14 here, and this outside line's starting to make it work a little bit. Braun giving pushes to the 11 car of Collier.
There's the current battle for first right now. They are close, but it's still going to be Hudson holding on to this one. But Tim Collier, close second on that outside line. They're starting to get a run.
Yeah, that they are, and they're about side by side as far as the inside and the outside go, so that's exciting to see. As we are now 15 laps into this one, or on lap 15, apologize, and it's looking good so far for a lot of these drivers. I think most of the guys are repaired up back in this race, and and into the outside wall a little bit. I think that's going to be Loveridge, I think. But he's able to hold on to it regardless, and we are still too wide.
And yep, everyone holds that one. Good job by the field to recover after that little mishap there. Keeping it green. Really skilled driving. You love to see it out here early. You don't expect to see too much risky driving out here early on. I expect these drivers to really just kind of keep it clean, not test it too early. And just as I say that, we are 3 wide.
Yeah, Loveridge making a little
that third row.
Man,
he's going to get a nice pass there. Wow.
Grabowski out there.
He's going to just do a nice little pass up the middle.
That is going to be a nice pass. Going to keep it sorted out, and he is hunting for the front.
Yeah, he saw that open gap there to that middle line, and he just decided to take it. Got him a nice pass. He's going to be in your third row now. Third back in that second line. Still clean thus far. We only have 1 car in the pits, and I do believe that's going to be Nicholas Bros. I believe his race might... I think it might be over here, unfortunately. We'll take a look at that split. I should show him here in 1 moment. But it still shows he's in the pits here. We'll take a look back here, and yeah, he's sitting in his stall. I think he might have had some issues after being involved in that incident. I know he was the reason of caution just a couple laps ago.
Yeah, and it's altogether a possibility he just didn't take his fast repair, which could also be unintentional. I know once you're locked into those repairs, there's nothing you can do about them, and he's just stuck in the pits, like you said, Luke. But we're still, clean side by side, two wide racing right now, and it's tight between the leaders, Hudson and Collier, as the high line gets that little extra speed boost out of the turns onto the straight. Oh, but a little shaky pushes from Loveridge into Braun, but they sort it. Yeah, and I was talking about how I'm a fan of the 24, fan of the Jeff Gordon, so I'm a little excited, about William Byron taking this one and getting a win in the Jeff Gordon throwback car.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. And just as the official Daytona race ends, we still have plenty of racing left here to go on our end of Daytona.
Yeah, that we do, Luke, and I think it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, quick look at our weather condition over here. It's going to be an 85-degree track temperature, a little bit on the warmer side, 45% precipitation rate. Might lead to maybe a little bit slicker track, you never know. 13-mile-an-hour winds, it definitely could play into effect here for these drivers, especially later on when they start getting into that tire wear.
Yeah, and this is anybody's race. I think, the race we just saw today, the actual 500, just goes to show that you're not out of it until you're out of it. Anything can happen.
Ooh, tapping that high wall there. It's going to be, I believe, Noah Loveridge.
Yeah, that's the second time that's happened to him. He gets a little loose on these turns and trades a little bit of that white paint with the outside Daytona wall. But yeah, we have a little bit of stragglers, one going into 3, one coming out of 4. The pack is going to catch them eventually, and hopefully that all settles evenly.
Yeah, those are going to be your lap cars. It's going to be Nicholas Perez and Matt Ramona, sorry. But yeah, I believe you were right back there in the maybe Nicholas Perez electing to not take the faster pair there, but it's going to set him back, I believe, 2 laps down now. It's going to put him in a tough spot as he is not the lead lap car, so he will not be getting the free pass upon a caution. Oh, that number 57 Marines car, Jay Dargret, got a little close there to Noah Loveridge, and we almost saw something nasty there, but they're going to keep it clean.
Yeah, and that's good to see as we're approaching a quarter through this race. Only 1 caution, that is way better pace than what we had last night. Yeah, I'm excited for how this one's going, and anybody you want to make a little prediction on so far, Luke, or you want to just keep your mouth shut and see how this one goes for now?
I hate to say early. I don't want to make it too early a calls here. I know this is a completely new field. I don't think we have a single driver currently on the field that we have previously broadcasted, so I really don't have much information to work off of here. I think I'm going to have to see a little bit more driving from these drivers and, maybe get a little taste of how their driving is before I make my evaluations.
Yeah, I've got to agree. I know I've seen some aggressive driving and as well as some passive driving, so, just different strategies, different, driving styles. Just something we're going to have to, figure out as we go, but I'm super excited to be with CMS.
I am as well, Kevin. I am as well. Always nice to see new drivers out here and be exposed to different environments, and it's nice to actually get a nice shift up from the Next Gen Cup Series that we've been doing. I think we've had the Cup Series the last, 4 or 5 races we've done? So it's nice to have a change up of car class. Or no, I take that back. We had an Xfinity race at one point, right?
Yeah, I think we did the Xfinities and we did the 87s one time.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's been all Next Gen.
Yeah, so it's nice to see these trucks out here again. I know I'm a big fan of racing these trucks. I got the F-150 myself, but those things bump fast, and they can take a beating, that's for sure. Leaves room for a little bit sloppier bump drafting, I would say.
Yeah, I got to agree.
We're going to see that lap car up here.
Yeah, I'm paying attention to him. I also am kind of curious. That's Ramona going down the lap. Is that Roberts that we see going into turn 1 right now, or where's he at in terms of the track? And that lap car is going to go into the wall.
Terry Roberts. He's actually going to be hanging with the main pack here. He's going to be sitting right back here in that Miller Lite car, sitting back behind everybody at the moment.
Okay, so he's,
still
he's
with the main group, but a lap down.
He's the lead contender in the Lucky Dog is what I was trying to figure out, if it was going to be him or if Ramona had a chance. But it's looking like, Roberts is the main contender for that one, assuming we have another caution.
Absolutely, and a little bit of blinking going on in front of him here. But we're going to go ahead and jump back to our leaders up front here, and it's going to be Tim Collier with his first chance of the lead here tonight, I do believe. The number 11 there, he's going to get a good run on that outside line. But as soon as I say that, dive down low for the number 25, it's Davis Brom.
Yeah, the Gordon scheme, trying to get a second Gordon scheme win for tonight is Davis Braun, and he's going to take his first lead.
Boy, wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, and I don't want to talk too much about the Daytona 500, Luke, but I'd imagine you aren't very happy with being down, what, $60 or $70 so far, or just on tonight's race?
Not the happiest. Yeah, no further comment.
Yeah, maybe we'll figure that one out later. I too am not the most thrilled, as I had a lot of money riding on Ryan Blaney, who was taken out earlier. But back to our race, this another lap car, really staying high. I mean, just running the wall.
Literally rubbing the wall.
But,
literally wall riding. They're gonna, I believe, I don't think they're gonna catch on to that main pack there. That's gonna be the, who do we got there? That's gonna be the 14 of Nicholas Bros. Yeah, he's gonna fall off the main pack there, but our main group's still running strong up here. It's gonna be Davis Braun still up here leading the group. That Jeff Gordon scheme.
And we're now over a quarter of a way through this one. We're only looking at one caution so far. They've been running about 15 or 16 laps green right now, but I don't think fuel's anything to be of concern for a little while at least. Just, something to keep in the back of your head, Luke, as they do stay green for a pretty decent stretch of this one.
You hate to you hate to jinx it, but so far these drivers have shown a lot more, I'm trying to think of the word here, a lot more
precision.
A lot more precision going into these checkups, and I will say that the Truck Series, they can take a little bit more beating in terms of these drafting anyways, so that might have something to do with it, but just little, I don't want to say more room for error, but a slight bit more room for error over some of these other cars we've seen, such as the 87s, where there is barely any room for error.
Yeah, and Collier back in the lead on the outside. He's getting great pushes by Colburn, and they're making it work on the outside. These inside guys, it seems to be the faster lane in the past couple races we've watched, but as of tonight so far, there really isn't a faster lane. They just seem to be back and forth. Collier is going to be your leader. They're going to be clear by about 1.5 on that inside line, but they're on each other's corners. Very awkward push, and they're going to have to check up a little bit, and that's going to get Braun in the lead. Hudson's going to get up there too. They're going to be clear by just about 2, and here comes Lidkey or pole sitter. He's back up in the mix as well.
And boy, that was a dangerous checkup back there, Kevin. That could have been ugly, but good brake checking there by I believe that is the 02 of Caleb Colburn, currently running in P5. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the current battle box for first right now. Currently looking at the overhead of Caleb Colburn here. Like I said, as he's running P4, and that front four is getting a good bit of room there. That it's like the backside, that outside line is going to kind of start fading there.
Yeah, and they're up and down and up and down. It's all race. We'll see, one line working better, the other line working better. But Loveridge up in the top 4 now. He's giving pushes to the 0-2 of Colbert. Yeah, and look, I don't know if we see any returning drivers from what we've seen in the past. The only last name that's kind of sticking out to me is Robitaille, Pierre Robitaille. I feel like we might have called that before, but overall, clean sheet of, just completely new drivers. So it's exciting to see how these guys perform.
Yeah, that it is, and we are actually currently 3 wide, a couple rows back there. We'll go ahead and hop on
and they're getting a little shaky.
I believe that's going to be the 21 of Drew Lidka. He's been up front most of this race, but he's going to kind of trail back here as you look at some of those cars around him right now. Currently kind of fighting up there for around 7th place.
Yeah, and he was actually our pole sitter tonight, and he led.
Oh, and a car in the infield there.
Yeah, and he dips down, I think.
Oh, wait, I think he's going to be going into the pits here. It's going to be Noah Loveridge. Let's take a look here at what led to that one. Go back just a
little bit through the grass there on it. It could be planned. It could be an issue with this car. I'm not quite sure. I haven't been paying attention too much. I know he's been into the wall a couple times, just rubbing up with it, but nothing too bad. But not a very successful pit, Lucas. He's gonna, I don't know.
All back down to P18.
We're gonna have to keep updating on if there's a.
Oh, we're 3 wide up front there in that 3rd row back. Oh yeah, and we're 3 wide racing here at Daytona.
That middle line's making it work. That middle line's getting some speed with Colburn and
that outside line's starting to gain some momentum too.
And they're wiggling around on that inside, getting side drafted all around the track, trying to keep it straight as they can. Inside line's just not looking too hot, despite having the people. Pittenberger currently running P4 in that second line on the outside, just making it work, getting some speed. The 7 car of Hernandez up there as well. Yeah, it's a pretty intense racing for this early. Good to see a lot of different lead changes so far.
And, Dennis Pitzenbacher, they were the ones that made that middle line work there. We were just 2 wide. They were the ones that decided to make the commitment, make it 3 wide, and it seems to have paid off for them here as they are now in the front running of that second line. We'll go and take a look at the overhead here, and looks like it's going to be back to mainly 2 wide racing here. It seems like we're only going to be going 3 wide here for the passes, but I assume that's probably going to change here as we, when we start to approach like I would say probably the last 4th of the race. I feel like it's not going to get too overly aggressive here throughout the main duration of the race, at least from what we've seen thus far. But again, it is tough to call. We have a field of new drivers that is tough to say. But so far, clean driving here. We've only seen 1 caution on the night as they're going to be rounding turn 4 here at the start of lap 35 here as they cross the start-finish. Outside line. Getting it going here. They're just trying to regain here. Looks like they're getting a little bit of separation there. A couple cars making the transfer out there to that outside line. They're going to keep it moving.
Yeah, we've been green now for almost 25 laps. It's been refreshing. It's been good racing. It's not, at least we're not seeing the single file racing we usually see in these long green stretches, Luke.
Yeah, it is definitely nice to see and again, I hate to sound like a broken record here, but the talent of these drivers out here tonight, it is definitely on display tonight, showing some very clean and respective driving. Only 1 incident here tonight, and I feel like that one was really just a 1-car issue, but so far so good, and we haven't seen any repeats. That's always a good thing to see, but they're going to be approaching a lap car here, and that might make things interesting here. It's going to be the number 6 of Noah Loveridge. I know he had some issues.
He's already 1 down. He had some issues and had to take that early pit.
He's approaching 2 down. Not ideal for him. There's the other lap car, Terry Roberts here. He's still going to be running in that main group right there. Still going to be in P18, but he's going to be running with the main group here. So, assuming you see him pass by that car, he's going to be in the 91 with the American flag there on the side. Assuming that he passes that lap car, the number 6, that's going to pretty much put Noah Loveridge out of contention here for the Lucky Dog. But on the other hand, if Terry Roberts, if something happens to him, that could leave the window open for Noah Loveridge to get back into this one.
Yeah, and it definitely could, but we gotta remember Ramona is in this lead pack, just 2 laps down, I think. So, they're both going to be 2 laps down, so it's going to be a battle to see which one of them can keep in front of each other. But as far as the leaders go, Braun just, hanging on to this one, getting some laps let in. Let's take a look at fastest laps on the night, Luke. We are going 3 wide on the second line.
Oh, yeah, we are. Third
Am I
line
looking
looming.
at that correct?
Yep, that would be the best lap times.
Wow. I mean, Pitsenberger just fell back, but the top 3 all had the exact same best lap time of a 47.68. It was the top 3.
It took me a minute. I had to kind of rub my eyes there for that one. And yeah, I'm double checking this over here on our live feed at back of the race. And yeah, that's going to be an accurate reading.
But your best lap so far is going to be Robitaille of a 47.21. That's going to be Pierre Robitaille, and that's a good lap time for him as he started P11 and is currently in P10. So, sticking around in the same area, but getting good speed at least. Yep. And, Braun's still out in the lead here. We are side by side, though, between him and Colburn. Hernandez and Hudson in the second line. And we are approaching 60 to go next time around. So, interesting to see. A lot of good driving out of these guys. A lot of the guys that started in the back have moved forward, and that's what you want to see here early on. I'm trying to get a read on who has been moving. How about Miguel Colon? The 87 car, he's started P20, and he is currently in P8. That's up 12 spots from the start. That's a really impressive, thing to do. That's, a position every 3 laps for this entire race. And that's hard to do when you're going 2 wide in these trucks. So good on him. But yeah, 61 to go right now, and Braun's still leading, but Colburn peeking his head out in the front for a second. Yeah, and Loveridge and Ramona are both now down 2 laps. And Roberts and Kendo are both down 1 lap. So we have 16 cars in the lead lap, all the way from Braun to Zabelski, and yeah, that's about how things are going right now. Zabelski started P10. He's down 6. Unfortunate for him. Loveridge started P5. He's down to 19. Some problems for him as well. Just a lot of moving around, but a lot of clean moving around is what we've seen so far. We're not even halfway through this race, so I don't want to get too excited. But, looks like some very clean professional racing out here.
It's still going to be double wide racing here. It's going to be still pretty clean so far. Only 1 caution still on the night. And it's definitely, like I said, a nice change-up. That inside line is going to be getting a nice run. Caleb Colburn can be taking the lead of the night here. But that other lap car, that's going to be the number 99 of Christian. I'm sure I'm going to be butchering this one. Oquendo.
Yeah, and that's about as good as I could do. So we can go with it. Colburn out here leading this one. He was able to make the transfer onto that inside line as he was side by side on the outside line for a while, but Hernandez now moving to the front with the outside line still working, despite the inside getting another car. Yeah, and the pits are starting, Luke. The first group has come into the pits, and that's going to be led by Hudson, Dargert, and Lidkey. So it looks like they're going to get into those two-pack racing, two different pit strategies we see all too frequently. It looks like Colburn, Braun, Hernandez, Pitzenberger, Cologne, and Romero are going to be the only cars staying out, 6 of them, as well as a couple lap cars are going to be staying out as well. So, we're take a look at the map. We're going to see how that cycles around, as we do know that only one of these groups. And here comes the second group. Oh, and only 3 of them are going to come in. So we know 6 of them were, or 4 of them are going to come in. My apologies. We know 6 of them were still out, but Hernandez and Cologne staying out with the lap cars. They're going to make something work with the group of 4 there. Maybe a little bit of strategy talk between them. But now it's going to be a 3-group type of thing. And as you take a look at the map, you're going to see this 43 car of Hudson lead the way. And it's going to be a race between him and the 25 car of Braun to see who can get out in front. And, this group that already pit is looking pretty hot, so I'd assume they might get out in front. But 25's out of the pits. He's going up through the gears, and it's going to be close. Everything cycles back through.
Yeah, your current race leader is going to be Marcos Hernandez, elected to stay out there. I do not believe he has pit yet, but do correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I was just wondering if Marcos Hernandez had taken a pit already.
Yeah, no, Hernandez and Cologne, they were part of that second pit group, but they actually opted to stay out.
And that answers my question. There he goes.
Hernandez comes in, but how about Cologne? I think he stays out.
Yep.
So, they're all mixed up, but, the main group, 42 seconds back on the leaders, or on Cologne there, and actually losing time, oddly enough. But as it cycles, Braun, Romero, Hudson, Colburn, and Pitzenberg are going to be your first 5 out. Once these pits cycle through and Cologne takes his. So, we're reaching the halfway point here. I think we're going to see at least another pit based off of what we just saw from them there, pitting. But I'm a little surprised. Here comes in.
That's going to be Miguel Colin.
Is that Colin?
Yep, that's Colin.
All right, Colin's going to come in now, and
welcome back in the chat, Jay. It's good to see you again. And believe it or not, we are approaching almost the halfway point of this race, and we are yet to see a second caution. And I hate to speak too soon. This has been some crazy clean driving compared to what we saw last night. And I will let you know I got an hour and a half of sleep since that race. So I am wired right now.
Yeah, it's been... Ooh, as they bunch up a little back there as the second line's coming up. But, Romero's going to get out of the way and let that second line through. And, yeah, it's about been 2x2 racing. It's been clean racing, but that doesn't mean it hasn't been exciting. We've seen a lot of really tight racing, a couple 3-wide passes. But, this inside and outside line both looking very consistent with each other. And Luke, what scheme is that in P3?
On P3, that's going to be Miguel Romero. Let's go and hop
Yeah,
on
but
the.
what scheme is it, Luke?
Oh, that's going to be the goddamn Pepsi one. The Pepsi.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Pepsi scheme. Is that another one? No, I don't think it is.
No. Just the one.
But yeah, the Pepsis stay dominant as it's the day of the 24 car. Jeff Gordon, I'm sure, very thrilled that William Byron can pull it out with his scheme on and obviously racing for his team. But yeah, big day for Hendricks. Let's see if we have two Gordon schemes in this race, Pepsi and Rainbow. So let's see if they can carry the torch of the 24 success. And we are just about reaching the halfway point. One more lap and we'll be 50 through this one. And yeah, Luke, I think it's about that time I'm going to ask, what cars are you looking out for contention to take the checkered here?
I thought you were going to ask me about schemes there, but in terms of actual contention here, my money so far is either going to be on Chris Hudson. I know he's been a very, very dominant force in this race so far, but another one to look out for, I saw leading a lot of laps back there. He's going to be currently riding back in P15. It's going to be Tim Collier. He's going to be in that second group, running a different pit strategy from our lead group here, but he was running some really good laps there, riding that high line and even that middle line when we were 3 wide. I think he's going to be a truck to watch out for here as we approach the back half of this race.
Yeah, and I've got to agree. Both of those are, really dominant-looking drivers. I think that second group's pit strategy was a little bit weaker as they're 13 seconds back in losing time by a little bit, not losing much time though.
But hey, one caution can change all that.
One caution would change all that. They would bunch them back up and they would be right back in this thing. But I've got my eyes on Braun still. I think Davis Braun has a good shot at this thing. My favorite scheme out there. And then another one I'd look at is Drew Lidke. He was on the pole. He led the first 10 laps without anybody even thinking of passing. And then, he's made it back into the front 5. So just a couple names to look out for as a second line is now forming with that Pepsi scheme in the back of it. And I think that's going to be led by... Yeah, I'm not even sure. Maybe...
So, you said the outside line?
Yeah.
That's going to be the 87. Miguel Colon.
Okay.
Miguel Colon. And a couple more cars or trucks joining that outside line there. They're going to have 4 in that lead group, but that car is... I'm going to keep calling it car, but that truck keeps fading back on that outside line, but it's going to gain some momentum here and catch back up. They're going to have 4 trucks strong on that outside line.
Yeah, and as we still see, super long green flag run over 40 laps, or almost 40 laps. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars down at least 1 lap, Luke. So, what are you doing if you're these cars to, try to get yourself in a position to be back in this race?
At this point, if I'm one of these lap cars, I'm just thinking about trying to get within one of these pitting groups. They're about 13 and a half almost 14 seconds apart by this point. And if I were them, I'd just be looking to hang with one of those groups and either hope for a caution or maybe start to think and shift up the pitting strategy. I know there's options are limited here, especially with the limited amount of cautions we have tonight, as opposed to last night. But we still have the session open for about another hour, so we are more than good on time for this
yeah,
race.
But you gotta think we got about 50 laps left in this one. Say a minute a lap, and that puts you at about 50 minutes. So, I think we can afford maybe 2 or 3 more cautions. But just another thing you got to look at here.
Just another factor.
It was very disappointing last night that we couldn't finish that one. But congrats to Woodward on that win. But yeah, just another thing to keep in the back of your head on this one.
We'll go and look at that second group there. It's going to be the battle for 10th in that second pit group, but it's going to be Anthony James there in the number the number 216 in the front running there in that second pitting group. They're looking to try to make up some time, but they're almost 15 seconds back. They're going to have to tighten things up here and start making things work as we jump back to our leaders up here. It's still going to be Davis Braun leading the group here.
Yeah, he started P4, so he's had many tastes of the front in this one so far. Really just been getting it done. About 45 laps to go in this one. Anything can happen, but you got to keep your eyes on that lead pack of about 9 cars because those are the cars to beat with the way things are going.
And just taking a look at where these cars pit here. You're looking at this first group. They're pitting right around that lap 44. But who is that there? Jay Dargett pitting there on lap 43. The only car there that's going to have a shorter, an earlier pit other than Chris Hudson. But as we jump back to our backpack here, let's look where they pit. About the same, about lap 43 as well.
So you got to imagine that Dargett and Hudson, being as they're up in that front pack, they probably are on a little bit of strategy with that first caution, maybe taking a little bit less fuel, maybe only taking right side's tires, who knows. But you gotta figure that not only them, but Miguel Colon, they're both on probably a little bit different strategies as far as amount of fuel goes and whatnot, because they had such quick pits despite not being on the same lap as the leaders. Yeah, they've about single filed out here. I think we have one car, or is it Romero maybe? Just one car out there catching some side drafting, keeping himself up there. But, overall, we're about single file out here. It's really settled in, and, but there goes the Can-Am car of, Medina, so, or is that Hudson?
Yeah, you're watching Hudson. This is going to be Chris Hudson.
That car has made it up to the high line as well, so that's going to be something to look forward to. As they're actually making it work with just 2 cars, that inside line keeping it pretty loose compared to what you would usually see, and that outside line just, getting the good bumps when they need it and getting up there to the front. We do have a little bit of a lap traffic situation coming up with Ramona, so that's going to put him 3 laps down. That's going to about put him out of this one, if I would assume, if a caution or 2 doesn't come out soon.
And I have to agree with you there, Jay. The outside line is definitely looking a little faster than last night. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be just the driver's ability, but then again, we are in the trucks and not the next gen Cup Series cars, so could have something to do with that. But we'll take a look at how fast some of these drivers are moving. They're moving about 190 miles an hour there on that across the tri-oval. So. Or you got to wonder, maybe is it just the driver's ability on that high line? Because they've been making it work all night so far.
Yeah, and they really have been making it work. There's a lot of factors that go into that. Driver ability, different drafting, different side drafting, different track temps, just a million things that go into it. So it's really something that the driver needs to pay attention to earlier in this race so that later on they know where to go and when to go there.
Yeah, and just taking a look at the current safety rating of these drivers here in our top 7. Looking at 4 A-class drivers, 2 B-class, and a singular D-class driver. And that's going to be Drew Lidka, our only D-class driver here in our top 5. But he's actually been doing pretty well all race. Yeah, he had a really good pole and has done really well. I believe he started back in, what was that, P5, I want to say? Yep, started in P5 there.
Who did?
Drew Lidka.
He started on the pole.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Wait, did he?
Yep.
Maybe I'm reading it wrong.
But regardless, Colburn and Pitzenberg are both, impressive transfers as they've both made it up a decent bit of spots, starting 14th and 12th. So impressive on them. We're 40 to go now, and Braun just leading lap after lap out there up in front, getting great pushes by Colburn. And you really got to wonder, when's the racing going to start? When are these guys going to get squirrely? When are they going to get on their horses and really just try to make something happen to switch up who the leader is?
Yeah, it's tough to say here, and I'll have to agree with Jay again in the chat. These drivers are looking a lot more calm than than our previous field. Could be I mean, with as many laps as we've seen green here, you got to wonder if these drivers are just settling into that groove. They've been keeping it very clean thus far, but Dennis Pitzenbarger, they're getting a bit of a run there on that outside line. As soon as I say that, they're going to kind of fade back there. They are a car short from that inside line, but they're still making it work. Keeping it within 2 cars clear on the bottom line for them.
Yeah, and just remember, we do need another pit, so strategy's going to play a lot into this one, but I think it's going to be those top 9 guys if we don't get a caution out here, Luke.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, but Caleb Colburn sliding down to that inside line, and he's going to hold the lead position, but I think it's going to be a quick transfer to Pitzenbarger. And yep, he's going to take the lead there. He is now clear on that outside line, and I think we're going to see him slide down to that inside line, yep.
Yeah, barely making it in, and I'm kind of surprised they're dropping into the inside line with as fast as this outside line has been. But, they're just trying to get more and more people down there and see if they could make it work for a change.
And man, yeah, look at that bottom line having well over double the cars in that outside line, but the inside line, and it's going to be 3 wide. No, we're getting contact, and we're wrecked in there. Oh, he's airborne! It's Pitzenbarger! He was upside down and did a full flip!
A great avoidance by Braun there. I know a couple of cars went right under the yellow and just cleared the wreck. That's going to collect a few of them at least.
Dennis Pitzenbarger got completely airborne back there. Let's go and go back to that and hop in the onboard. Holy cow.
Yeah, and, Jay gave him the little, the curse on calling out highly skilled and, just unlucky there. He turned a little bit and going for a ride.
He just gets sandwiched there, and
yeah, they try to get around him because he didn't have much speed going for him, and he didn't really see it coming, and he just kind of got into the inside line a little bit, and it was just a pinball effect from there as he was just bouncing around until, eventually just wrecking. Bounces off and goes to the outside. Yeah, and just barely. Braun's actually lucky he caught air there, because if he stayed on the ground, he would have went right into the side of the 25 car.
It seems like the rest of the field actually kept it pretty well together there.
Yeah, I think if we go back, there's a green car that might have gotten some, left side. It was like green and black, maybe.
I think it was the 21, if I'm not mistaken.
Got some damage on the left side. Yeah, I think you're right. The 21 car of Drew Lidke. So unfortunate for him, but I think he'll be all right, all things considered. Yeah, he gets nailed pretty hard.
Gets hooked, but
and he goes pretty hard into the wall.
And yeah, we'll take a look there from the front head view of what
I'm sure he's got a decent damage on that one. But they all cleared out pretty nicely. Like I said, I think getting air, that slows him down at, maybe the fastest rate. And it kind of just, had him floating through the air, and everyone was able to avoid it.
Yeah, a lot of cars in the pit lane here. It seems actually the entire field is going to be in the pits here, but I think we're going to see Caleb Colburn leading us out of pit road here. He's going to get a lead here.
Yeah, and I think Pitzenbarger is just now able to get into the pits, as it was a journey for him. But no, he's actually, I guess he went in early before they were open since he had the damage, and was able to use that fast repair and get fixed up. So
yeah, he's going to stay on the lead lap here, though.
Yeah, and this does pile everyone back up, Luke. Gets them right back where they need to be. I know we had a couple different packs that were pretty far apart from each other, so this one is going to get everybody that was on that lead lap right back in this one.
It definitely shakes things up here, Kevin. And boy, 2 cautions after 65 laps. If you would have if you would have told me last night that that's what this race was going to, turn out to be as compared to our previous broadcast last night, I don't know if I would have believed you. I have a feeling we're probably going to see another. I feel like we might see it amped up a little bit more here when we approach the final quarter of this race. But so far, keeping it fairly clean here. We've seen very minimal 3-wide driving, but when it comes out, it has been mostly clean up until this previous time.
Yeah, and I've got to agree. All in all, a great race so far.
Yeah, look at that, Chris Hudson. Another big name there. And, it seems the little confused there of what's. Oh, they're letting the lap cars make up their time here, I believe.
I gotcha.
Yep, they're gonna let Ramona and I believe what is that, the number 91 of Terry Roberts make up their lap time here. I believe they're just a lap back. No, they're 2. Yeah, they're 2 laps back. They're gonna hopefully give them the opportunity here to get back on the lead lap and have a shot here in this race. Make it a little more interesting. You'll love to see it. Yeah, pay attention to our track up here on the top right as this caution rolls through it. It definitely, it's interesting seeing the different kinds of strategies out here for these different cars, but it definitely shakes things up here as we
yeah, it
approach
definitely
here soon.
does.
And Kevin, I do feel like I ask you this again every night, and I know you did say Davis Braun was a big one for you there in the 25, but any other big schemes out here that you're noticing tonight that have stuck out to you thus far?
Yeah, and I'm still sticking with Davis Braun. I do like the Pepsi scheme too. I did point out that I'm a big Jeff Gordon fan, so either of those schemes are just definitely in my top 2. But what about you, Luke?
There was one in particular back here I noticed while we were looking at one of our main groups here, and I'm going to go ahead and swap over to him here if I can remember his number. I'm going to go ahead and hop on I believe the far chase here. It's going to be the number 7 of Marcos Hernandez, I believe. Yeah, that's going to be Sabrina Carpenter on the back of that one. She is quite a baddie, but enough of that. We are green here at Daytona.
Yeah, this is going to be led off by Colburn and Hudson on the outside, but yeah, pretty spread out. Not a great jump for a couple of these guys. But yeah, they're gonna stack back up here on the backstretch, no doubt. And we are green racing at Daytona, 33 to go.
Yeah, 2-wide racing here as they go across that back straightaway. It is going to be an interesting one here, as I believe those lap cars did get the chance to make up some time here. I don't think they're quite on the lead lap just yet, but at least give them the opportunity to make up some time there at the very least. It's still going to be Caleb Colburn leading you off here, followed by Chris Hudson, Jay Dargert, apologies, and David Braun. Go ahead and look at your current battle for first here. Caleb Colburn in the 0-2 up, running it up front. Ooh, a second row, getting a little close there. Boy, these trucks are moving, looking over there at those speeds. On the left side of the battle box down there, going over 200 miles an hour down this back straightaway. Look at Drew Leak going over 205, getting right in the middle of that draft. Yeah, these cars are moving. Or sorry, that was the top speed of these cars, or these trucks. Apologies. And geez, yeah, he managed to hit 205. That is insane. Probably had something to do with him running up front there. It seems like most of your leaders here, I did end up taking 3 pit stops here, so they're all going to be good here, I believe, for the, I think for the rest of the race. But the time will tell here. A caution could obviously change all that in an instant, but definitely shakes things up here. And taking a look at the current I rating of our drivers out here at the moment in terms of this race, it's the current benefits here, but it's still going to be Caleb Colburn leading strong here, but Chris Hudson very close on his outside line.
Yeah, and they're back to side-by-side racing. It's what you like to see. Braun back on that second line, though, as he, was dominating that front line there for a while, Luke. But yeah, it looks like everybody is still in that main pack since the restart that is on the lead lap. So that's also good to see. Everyone keeping themselves in contention here with 30 to go.
And one car that I'm definitely wondering about out here is going to be the number 51 of Dennis Pitzenbarger. He had quite the wreck there earlier on in that caution, but he's still going to be on the lead lap here, running P12. So he definitely is still in contention here for this race. He's running just back there. We'll go ahead and hop on the overhead of Dennis Pitzenbarger.
Yeah, and he started P14 and made his way all the way to the front, so he knows what to do to get through this field. He used that fast repair, so that's no longer an option for him, but he's got speed, he's got the knowledge, and I think he's still in contention in this one with 30 to go.
It's still going to be Caleb Colburn holding strong out here in that number 02 Amazon. It's still going to be mainly 2 wide here. Like I said, I don't imagine these cars or these trucks are going to be doing much 3 wide racing here until we reach that final quarter of the race, but we are getting to that point very quickly at the current pace of this race. It is shaping out to be a quick one compared to the our previous race last night that was a doozy.
Yeah, it was really a mess, but a fun mess,
It was a fun
kind of
mess.
Control.
It was fun to commentate on it, that's for sure. I know we're going to be hopefully getting some videos put up on our social media platforms on, I believe, TikTok and maybe a YouTube video here shortly on that whole broadcast, because that was a handful for us. That was for sure, between the technical difficulties and just the overall atmosphere of that race. That was a crazy one.
Yeah, and as I'm seeing, Pierre Robitaille has made his way up to P5, and he started P11, but has been, kind of in the back this whole time, but it's nice to see him getting up front for the first time tonight. He's going to be running that Marine scheme, I think. Maybe not. Actually, that might be that might be Dargent. It's one of those red cars. Dargert, it's my fault.
I believe we're going to see 3 wide here by the number 7, Marcos
Ooh,
Hernandez.
And he gets tapped below the yellow, comes back up. It's going to be the 87 Cologne. And he's able to keep it steady.
Here. Yeah, actually just taking a look here. I was just doing a little bit of looking while you were making that comment there. Pierre Robitaille and Drew Lidkia are going to be our only 2 drivers out of Canada tonight. So they're looking to represent their home country of Canada here tonight, as the rest of the field is going to mostly be an American field here, with I believe a couple of drivers here outside of the United States. I believe Miguel Romero is going to be racing out of Mexico. And
yeah, thanks again for coming by, Jay. It's always nice having you, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Hey, good to see you, Jay. We hope to see you again soon.
We're now about maybe 1 lap off, 3/4 of the way through this one, Luke, and there's 18 cars within a second and half of each other, so I still wouldn't count any cars out of this race so far.
No, I mean, it still really could be anybody's race. A caution or 2, and even these cars that are a lap, maybe 2 laps down, can still get right back into contention. I mean, it all depends on how intense these drivers take this last 4th of the race, really. I personally think there's going to be a big change-up, and we're going to see maybe a little bit more aggressive driving, I think, but then again, that is only speculation. You can only guess so much, and it's going to get a little shifty there in that back end there, it seems like, in the backpack. It's going to be near the number 6 of Noah Loveridge. He's going to be a lap down. He's going to be the current contender for the Lucky Dog. He's just looking to stay with this group and hopefully avoid any caution, if there is one, that would put him back on the lead lap here. That inside line running true. It's still going to be Caleb Colburn, followed by Jay Dargert.
Yeah, and as you can see, Braun, he was running the outside line for a little bit. He settled back down to the inside where, from what we've seen so far, is his preferred line. But, yeah, a lot of these guys, trying to make something happen, but have just been stuck in the back for a lot of these laps. Siguenza, Higgins, some guys like that. A little surprising to see Collier not running up front, as he was fast in the beginning quarter of this one.
And you really can't count anybody out here. It's still anybody's race, and we are on that last quarter to go. Like I said, I think we're going to start to see the shift up here any moment now. I think we're going to probably see maybe that third line start to loom here as these drivers start to get a little more aggressive, starting to, race for those top spots.
Yeah, and 24 to go. Colburn's leading these. We've kind of, sorted back out to single file in these top 5 or 6. A lot of these guys, just trying to keep themselves preserved into that top 5-ish to, have a shot at this one when the last couple laps come by. But plenty of racing still, so anything can happen here.
Yeah, that inside line really running true here. They're going to have 4 cars clear up there on that inside line. Chris Hudson's still looking to make it happen there on that outside line. Not really getting much opportunity to drop down low here. It's going to be very, very tight.
Yeah, that it is. That outside line's trying to get something going, but oh, and we're going 3 wide there in the back. They made a huge run off the outside. A little interesting run.
Sorry, we'll hop back here to the overhead here as we're 3 wide in the back.
Yeah, and there was 2 of them, but it seems like one got kind of stranded.
Oh, and it's shaky there. But they're going to sort it out, it seems. Oh my, they are moving. It's going to be the number 16. They're getting quite the run there on that outside line as they catch up to those cars in front of them. Or sorry, the number 91. That's going to be Terry Roberts back here on the lead lap. He's going to be just outside of P10 here as we look at his current battle box on his overhead right now. He's going to be running back in P8.
Yeah, and maybe one of those less experienced drivers just getting a feel for it. He's our lowest I rating and safety rating, so maybe just not as much experience on these tracks, but definitely out there doing his thing still, as he is running up there in the top 10.
As we take a glance there at the safety ratings of these drivers in that battle for 7th. We'll go and jump back up here to your leaders, and it is still going to be Caleb Colburn. And we have seen some very clean racing here, but it's going to be 3 wide back there. It's going to be the number 7, Marcos Hernandez. He seems to, and he's going to, the 41's going to get spun, and we're going to collect cars back there.
Oh, and
we're going to see multiple cars involved.
Oh, and he's just bouncing around and getting at everybody.
Oh.
A little bit of damage here, a little bit of damage there, as that's going to be our third caution of the night.
Let's go and jump back and see what happened to that one there. We'll go and hop in the onboard of Marcos Hernandez as he was around that incident. Gonna be running 3 wide there.
Yeah, he tries to split the gap, and it kind of seems like those cars in front of him just don't see it coming.
Yeah, that inside line. It's gonna be the what was that? I think that was a 3-number car. It was tough to say there.
I think that inside line is just so used to having that little bit of extra room with these guys only running 2 wide that they kind of just assumed it would be clear. And Marcos was trying to shoot the gap and make a 3rd line, and they just got into each other a little bit.
Yeah, actually, as we go and take a look at the far chase of that one, you see
that
gap is there. It's totally there, but yeah, that car on that inside line just not expecting him to be there and just turns right in front of him, and it's very unfortunate there for Marcos Hernandez, who
right to it is maybe P9, whatever that white car is up there, barely clears.
And yeah, it's gonna collect multiple cars behind him.
And I think we saw some fast repairs earlier, so I wouldn't be surprised to see some damage still on these cars after the pits.
As we are back to pacing, it's still going to be Caleb Colburn out here, still leading this one. As we are approaching 18 to go here. I believe we're going to be going green with 17 to go. And boy, this race has flown compared to our previous broadcast. Currently a very nice pace, and here comes some of the pits, but we're going to see someone stay out there. I believe that was Miguel Colon. He's going to stay out there, a bit of a pit fake.
A few of them are, actually. I think Lidkey's going to stay out there, and Pitzenbarger, he's going to be back out there.
And as we go and look at their previous pit lap there, lap number 64. 64, 64, and 65 for some of these cars out here. It definitely shakes things up here.
Yeah, when we saw pits on 10, and then we saw pits on 43. So that's about a 33-lap window that they used that time. So the cars that pit on 64, that would be about a 36-lap 36-lap window, so about 3-lap difference, but we have seen a couple cautions since then, a little bit of fuel saving, so I think they're trying to stretch this one to the end, Luke.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And the current race session, we're scheduled for an hour and 55 minutes. We're currently about 30 seconds off of that hour 20 mark. So
about 35
about 35 minutes left, and we have 18 laps to go. We're still on decent pace here, assuming the cautions stay under control.
Yeah, we're on great time. I think we'll get through this one without a doubt. So nothing to worry about there anymore.
Yeah, as of right now, Miguel Colon sitting in P1. We don't know if we're going to see the pit from him, Liedtke, and Pitzenbarger, as they all elected to stay out there. Here they come around the pits this time by. Nope, they are... I believe they are going to say no. We'll just go ahead and take a look at our track right now. Yeah, they're going to stay out here, I believe. And going green here at 16 to go, Kevin, these drivers, I feel as though it's going to start getting really aggressive. I know I said it was going to be in that last quarter and stuff like that, but you got to wonder, after seeing that caution, it might start getting a little urgent for some of these drivers that got involved there in that wreck. Going to probably be fighting a little harder to claw back in those positions there, maybe trying to tough out some damage and wear on the car, and especially late on into this race, maybe without a fast repair, had to sweat out some of that damage. But I guess only time will tell here, as we're going to be pacing around that back straightaway.
Yeah, I got to agree. I think we're going to see right out of the gun some of these guys that did take the pits trying to get around these 3 cars that stayed out. because these three cars are going to be the dangerous factor. They're on strategy, and they got nothing to lose here because they're just gunning to the line now. But I think they've done a very good job at saving fuel. We haven't seen much throttle usage under these cautions. So if they can make it to the end, I really do think the cars to beat are going to be Cullen, Lidke, and Pitzenbarger.
And yeah, Pitzenbarger had a. I keep wanting to say bad wreck earlier, but he really did keep it contained.
He
after everything that happened. Yeah, he still went for a ride, but I feel like the damage was kept to a minimum there. He was completely sideways across the back straightaway with that crazy air that he got. I know that one was quite the incident. But I do believe we're going to be going green this time by. Yep, and the pace truck is in. As we're ready to go green with 16 laps left to go here at Daytona at the Champions Motorsports Sunday Night Truck Series at Daytona.
16 to go. We're green. Lidke jumps to the front on the outside of Cullen, and they are 2 wide already. And they are fast, and a little bit of gap behind the front 5 in between Pitzenberger and Colburn, but sure that'll close up, and Lidke's going to drop down to the bottom now. This inside line making it.
Oh, and there's going to be contact, and they're going to be sideways.
Big one. Oh, and it's going to be a few of the guys
trucks
that we were just looking at, including the Pepsi Skin and Romero, I think.
Yep, Miguel Romero got spun.
I know.
Let's go back and take a look at what happened there.
Our leaders was involved in that one, but it's going to be the Pepsi car and the 43 car. I want to say that is Chris Hudson is going to get involved in it. What is the purple car up there, Luke? Who are we looking at in that purple and black?
We'll go and run that back here.
Right in front of the Pepsi car on that inside right there. He was running P2.
That's going to be the number 17, correct? I believe. Let's go ahead and swap her over here. 87. That's going to be the number 87 of
that's going to be Cologne.
Miguel Cologne. Oh, no. That
so,
is
a
not
double
ideal.
Miguel, the wreck of the Miguel is on that one, and not what you like to see, but how about Lidke? He clears it. He gets to pace around on, fuel-saving mode for a few more laps, and he's in a good position in this one.
And yeah, you hate to see it happen again out here, but it at least seems as though it stayed contained there for the most part. We'll go and hop on board that number 24, Jose Medina here, as we'll see what his view was. I know that was probably a little scary for him happening right in front of him. Let's go and hop in the cockpit there, and we'll see his view of that wreck. Yeah, he had just made that transfer to the inside line, and I think that was probably the right call for him. Yeah, he probably would have gotten involved there if he didn't.
Gets into the grass a little bit, but all in all, just completely cleared it, and good on him.
Yeah, as I believe that cleared out many cars behind him.
Yeah, and he started P6. We haven't been talking too much
they
about
stay together with him. I believe it was just contained to those 3 cars there. It was relatively clean.
Yeah, it was very fortunate for a lot of guys out there. But as far as Romero, Cologne, and Hudson go, I'm not sure how they're going to do as far as repairs are. I'm not sure what they've used, what they have left. But we're just going to have to wait and see on that.
4 cautions here in a 100-lap race. This feels a little more standard, I feel like we're back in the normal parameters of racing here. I know that was some absolute hectic racing last night. I'm still, sleep-wise trying to recover from that one. But the pace of this one has been very, very steady and very entertaining. Some very, very clean driving out here. And even in the wrecks that we have seen, the drivers, for the most part, have kept it contained, especially with getting around each other and keeping it safe, passing each other around the wrecks, not carrying on the wrecks any further than they need to be, and, taking any unnecessary damage.
Yeah, and I've got to agree, but how about Pitzenbarger, too? He stays up in second, and his strategy's starting to play out.
Yeah, he had some issues earlier with that being completely up on his side on the back straightaway earlier on in this race, one of our earlier cautions, but he's clawed and fought his way back up here to the front, and he's going to be running P2 here when we go green. On one hand, you got to hope we stay green here for some of these front runners here, but on the other hand, some of these drivers that might even be a lap down, such as Terry Roberts, maybe just hoping for one more caution to give him a chance to be back on that lead lap and maybe still hang back in this one, but the race is going to be winding down here. We're going to be, I believe, on lap 12 when we go green. At the Championship Motorsports Sunday Night Truck Series at Daytona. And we're going to see a pit here by Dennis Pitzenbarger. He's going to go into the pits here.
Yeah, and maybe he doesn't think he has it in him to get to the end. Not quite sure, but that does make you want to keep an eye on Lidkey, as I think he was on a similar strategy, just saving as much as he can. Not sure if.
And yeah, his last pit was lap 64. Man, he's been out there for a while. You got to wonder, is the pit coming soon here for Drew Lidkey? But he elects to stay out here, because he's only been in the pits 3 times tonight. Going green this time by Kevin here, do you think there's going to be any change up here with the way these drivers have been driving out here so far?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to see we've seen a lot of the three wide racing towards the back, just people trying to make it happen. I think now is the time we're going to start seeing it towards the front, just everybody trying to get to that checkered flag and take the win home. So, we've seen a lot of aggressive racing, mid and back pack, but I think it's going to be all around now, as we're going to have like 12 to go this time by.
Absolutely, and you'll have to remind me here, Kevin. Is this a payout race tonight, or is this going to be a season race?
This is a season league race. I think they have about 4 races left in the season, and
Gotcha.
Fortunately, we were able to stream Daytona tonight. So
one of the best tracks out here.
One of our favorites, no doubt.
Absolutely.
But after tonight, we're going to see next week is going to be Atlanta Motor Speedway, the 2008 track. Then we're going to see Pocono, Iowa, and the championship race is going to be at Homestead, Miami.
Yeah, I'm very excited. But back to our current race, the pace truck is in, and they're across the Geico restart, and we are green at Daytona. And it's going to be Drew Lidkey leading us off here. He's going to get quite the run there on the inside line. Because those front 4 are really starting to get a little bit of a... Actually, that's going to be that front little group is going to kind of get a bit of a gap here. Because that back group is going to be kind of split up a little, it seems.
Yeah, look, I know we're new here, but I would like to, give you a little stat. The past 3 races have actually been won by Davis Braun.
Oh, wow.
So he's running P7 right now. Still a guy to look at, that Jeff Gordon scheme I've been obsessing over for the past 88 laps. Just, something to look at. See if his streak can continue.
Yeah, as we currently look at his battle box, he's currently going to be sitting back in P6. Back in that 3rd row, but wait a minute, we're going to have a yellow out here. And not too sure what that one's going to be about. Getting word here, I think Dennis Pitzenbarger went off the track a little bit here. I don't know if that's what led to that
one.
We're
a little bit better of an angle on that one.
We're going to have to go to the blimp here and maybe take a look at a overhead here of what happened there on that one. And yeah, it seems he lost a little bit of control here. And oh, the 87, and he's going to get airborne for the 2nd time tonight here at Daytona. And unfortunate for Dennis Pitzenbarger. I believe that's going to be the number... Oh, who was that gave him that... I can't tell if he came into that line or if the line came down into him. But either way, that's going to be the number 67 of Pierre Robitaille. Or Robitaille. And yeah, he just gets spun and slightly airborne there. Unfortunate for Dennis Pitzenbarger.
Yeah, and it's just been it's kind of been a disaster for him lately. He's currently 15th in point standings, and this is just not the race he needed with just 4 more remaining after this one in the season. But yeah, those things happen.
Yeah, I think likely that's gonna probably do it for him tonight out here. Likely without a fast repair and gonna fall back here. Unfortunate ending to a so far successful night for him here. But Drew Lidkia still going to be your race leader here. And he still has not come into the pits. And that is quite interesting. Still electing to stay out here. You got to wonder, does he maybe have the room to make it here to the end?
Yeah, I think he's going to go for it at this point. I don't know. I think this is about gone as ideally as possible for him. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it's tough to say here, especially with still a decent chunk left of this race. We're going to be going green here with 8 laps to go, as we're on our 5th caution here of the night at the Champions Motorsports Sunday Night Truck Series at Daytona. I know we were talking about our upcoming broadcasts here with this league. I know for one, I'm very excited to get to know this group and start getting to get used to their driving styles and maybe get a little more information on some of these teams and stuff like that. Any comment or thoughts on the newest league that we're broadcasting out here tonight, Kevin?
Yeah, and I'm super excited. It's one of our first full season length leagues that we're a part of. Taking a look at not only how the races are going, but how the the overall standings of the season are going. I think that's going to be really exciting to follow. Just getting to know all these guys, it just gets really exciting, and I'm looking forward to what's to come.
Yeah, me too. As we're going to be pacing here for a while, Drew Lidkia is going to be your leader here when we go green in a few moments. But Caleb Colburn going to be following him out here. It's going to be quite the interesting finish here, I believe. I think we're going to see a lot more aggressive driving here as we approach the last handful of laps of this race.
Yeah, and I told you that Davis Braun's won the last 3 races of the season, but I just realized that that's actually all the races of this season. So tonight we could see a 4-peat for him, or we could see the first new winner of this season here with Champion Motorsports.
And yeah, speaking of Davis Braun, he's going to be riding P6 here when we go green. Going to be in that 3rd row. It's going to be interesting here. I feel as though it's going to get really, really testy when we approach these last couple laps of the race. I feel like that 3rd line is going to really start to become a factor here soon.
Yeah, I've got to agree. Anything can happen. He's on that outside right now. Just something to look at. Zabelski's also he's running 3rd in point standings, so a good finish for him tonight would be very important and helpful to his season. So, just a couple things to look at here.
And Kevin, I, for one, am going to be quite happy to go to sleep here at a nice, reasonable time tonight after our extended broadcast last night.
Yeah, and I know you missed some of the Daytona 500, so before you go to bed, I'm going to have to fill you in on what happened there at the end of that one, because it was an exciting one, and I urge you drivers and viewers to, take a look at that one if you get a chance tonight, because it was a great win for William Byron, but just a disaster of a finish for a few of the guys.
Green.
And we're going
green flag is out.
Here. And Lidkey's taking us off with Colburn, Darger, and Collier are going to be our top 4. How about Tim Collier? He's made his way back to the front.
And a lot of names up here still on this lead lap. 90, or I believe it's going to be, what, 17 drivers still here on our lead lap, so still could be anybody's race here, but I believe our focus is going to be up here near our front couple rows here, as we are on 8 laps to go here at Daytona.
Yeah, and the name of the game is Lidkey going to be able to stay up there, and does he have the fuel? Because it's going to be close, but as of now, he's looking fast.
Not just the fuel, his car in general. He hasn't been back into the pits, and man, look at that. He's back lap on 64. He went back in on lap 64. He has been out here for quite some time. You got to wonder, is that tire wear going to start to play a factor here as he takes these turns just as fast as these cars who just, left the pits not even 10 laps ago?
Yeah, and he's getting great pushes by Dargett right now, and just something to look forward to as we have 7 to go here. As coming across the back stretch, 93 down, and Pitzenberger is now out of this race. I would like to point out he's parked it. But how about Loveridge being back on the lead lap for the first time in a long time, in being in the top 10?
Good on for him. He had a lot of issues there early on in this race, and it's really good to see him getting things together again and giving himself a shot here to have a good finish here tonight.
That he is. But Lidkey's still leading this one with 6 to go now.
And I believe we're going to see 3 wide there, a couple rows back, but it's getting bumpy. Ooh, and that number 6, but he holds it.
Getting into Hudson, but they're going to hold, or not Hudson, James, but they're going to hold that. And, he's going to stay in P12 right now as they're getting testy back there. A lot of swaying around, but we're still 2 wide all the way through, and it is 5 to go here at Daytona. Led by Lidkey and Colburn in that front row. Dargett and Collier in the second, and then Medina and Braun in that third row. Braun looking to continue the streak. Everyone else looking to be that spoiler maker, and Colburn out in front on that outside line, making that work a little bit more. But as you know, in these turns, that inside line gets some speed, and Lidkey's going to take the lead again, and they're just back and forth, and this is going to be a close one, Luke.
As we approach these last couple laps here, you got to wonder, is that third line going to really become an option here for some of these drivers?
Yeah, you do got to wonder that. We haven't really seen it much as far as actual lines go. We've seen some 3-wide passes, and we've seen some 3-wide stuff ups. But as far as creating a whole nother line and getting people to come with you, we haven't seen much of it.
Got to wonder who's going to be that brave soul out here tonight to maybe test it. Could work in their favor if they've run it right.
Yeah, that it could, Luke, and Colburn making it work on that outside line. I wouldn't be surprised to see him drop at any point, but something we've seen a lot tonight, but he's going to stick up there with his guys on the top for now. They are side by side again as right out of the exits, this inside line makes it work for them. As Dargett on the inside line just giving great pushes to Lidkey. And we are 3 to go here at Daytona now. In the
a little bit of contact up front. Going to stay clean, though, in that second row.
Yeah, and they're wrecking a little bit.
Oh, there's contact!
They're not
43!
going to. It's going to be a big one, and the caution's out. Loveridge is going to be involved in that one. Hudson's going to be involved in that one. Just not what you wanted to see, and we're going to overtime. And Luke,
I think it's just those 2 cars.
Not great for Lidkey either. Overtime is the last thing that car needed.
Oh, no.
Knowing he's on very limited fuel, very limited tires, just trying everything to keep this car into a winnable shape. But
man,
that's gonna about do it for Loveridge, and not looking great for Roberts either. I don't think. But we're gonna have to keep updated on that. I know Loveridge is one of the cars involved in that one, but that's gonna be some NASCAR overtime here.
And oh my, things are going to get interesting out here for Drew Lidke. You know, fuel, I know he's been cutting it really close here. I believe the last time he pit was lap 64. So that's really going to shake things up for him here. He's going to be the car that has been out here the longest without a pit on the field here tonight. But man, oh man. NASCAR overtime. You love to see it. I feel like it's going to be very, very exciting here. I feel like broken record here, same thing as always, but I feel as though we're going to see that third line. I can just feel it.
I know you've been looking for it, Luke, but we're going to have 2 laps of green flag racing to go in this one. And it's going to get exciting nonetheless.
Yeah, that it will, and I'm very intrigued here to see what Drew Lidke is going to do. And yep, Drew Lidke is going to just keep running strong. Going to be taking the gamble, rolling the dice here. We're going to see how that plays out for him tonight. Oh boy. Overtime here at the Champion Motorsports Sunday Night Truck Series. For our first race so far, Kevin, I know I, for one, am excited. Cautions have been way more contained compared to what we are used to seeing out here. It's a very nice pace and a good change up and a good change of pace and good change of speed here for us.
Yeah, and I've had a blast. I really do like watching these trucks, and these drivers have given us a show so far. A lot of good driving, a lot of clean driving, a lot of exciting 2 and 3 wide driving. But overall, I've had a great time, and I'm excited to see what this league has in store for us.
Hey, me too. And I'm just gonna do a quick check here. I am seeing an option here for the current points. I don't know if that's going to be accurate, but actually doesn't appear like it's going to show us anything. I believe we're going to have to set that up. I just saw the option available, and I wanted to see if we could possibly bring that up, but not to worry. We will have a full point standing panel here as we go into the next couple races with this league next week. And correct me if I'm wrong, I believe our next race will be next Sunday, correct?
Yeah, and it'll be Atlanta, I think, the 2008 track, so that's going to be an exciting one.
Oh yeah, very fun. I love that 2008 track. And another truck still up there in that lead contention there. Davis Braun looking to get the 4-peat tonight. He's going to be riding P5 here when we go green. He's going to be on that inside line. Maybe going to open up a little window of opportunity for him. I know we haven't really got to see any of his finishes here in the previous races, but you got to wonder, is this a possible strategy that maybe they've seen before here, him riding in that maybe back a little bit from the main couple leaders, maybe looking for that pass a little later maybe. Yeah, we're going to be going green here next time by. Just taking a current look at the time lapse. We are about 10 minutes left in the lobby session. So assuming they stay green here and there isn't another, I'd say we could afford maybe another caution. Maybe another. But I don't think we're going to be able to afford any more than that. We are going to be, the story of the night is going to be Drew Lidke. Is his truck going to be able to hang on here? He's going to be on that outside line. I know it's not going to be his preferred line. He's been riding that inside line most of the night tonight. It's going to make things very, very interesting here for Drew Lidke as we approach the last couple laps of this race. We're going to be going green next time by as we roll through this back.
Yeah, it's going to be a green light checkered, so we're going to see 2 laps of green flag racing here at Daytona. And it's going to be exciting. Hopefully, Lidke can hang on and make that outside line work. He's going to be pushed by Dargert and Medina, whereas that inside line is going to have Colburn, Collier, and Braun in the front 3. Just some names to look at. Loveridge is still in the lead lap, though, just the back of it, but he is able to despite wrecking out there to cause this caution, he's still going to be in the lead lap, Luke.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting one here as we get ready to approach the Geico restart here. It's going to be Caleb Colburn leading us off here, followed by Drew Lidka in that second line.
And here we go. They are green. 2 to go at Daytona, led by Colburn.
Uh-oh.
Some problems.
Bit of an awkward takeoff for the 24.
24 Medina, but regardless, Colburn's still out in the front. Lidke on that outside line making it work, getting pushes by Dargert. But how about Collier coming into the second position, pushing Colburn? And Braun now on a huge run on that inside line, making it work. And we go to the backstretch for the second to last time tonight, and there's about 5 of them up there all alone, whereas the rest is about half a second back. And Braun gets turned. Braun is through the air, and and
it's going to be many cars, and there's a car flipping on the infield. And he's doing somersaults. It's going to be Drew Lidke.
Oh, that's going to be
no.
Unfortunate for Lidke.
And a very unfortunate turn of events for Drew Lidke. Let's go ahead and take a look back here at what happened there. Drew Lidke getting involved in a big one here.
Yeah, it looks like the 57 just kind of tries to make a second line and then just rams him.
And yeah, just...
Jay Dargert going to be the car that started that one, and it's going to get, a sandwich between Lidke and Braun and just collect them both there. Unfortunate, but we're going to see a few more pacings and then another green-white checkered.
Let's go ahead and hop in the onboard here of Drew Lidke. A very, very unfortunate turn of events here for him tonight.
Yeah, and I'm sure he just couldn't see anything because the having right behind him just got the tail end of him. Yeah, and he's just gets spun and goes for an absolute wild ride.
Oh my, look at that.
Oh, and there's more.
Ooh. Jeez, what a wild ride for Drew Lidke here.
On his feet.
Man. And the truck still drives, despite the flips. Wow. And I think he's gonna drive her. Yeah, I think he's gonna get her back into pit road here. As we go and jump back live, let's see where he's sitting right now. Okay, Drew Lidke's still on the lead lap here. He's gonna be back in P17, but he's still gonna remain on the lead lap here. Let's go ahead and take a look here. He did come into the pits, correct? I don't think we're going to be able to get an accurate reading here. We'll see here. I think he might have stayed out here.
If you just take a look at the battle cam, you'll be able to see when his last pit was.
And unfortunately, it's not going to show for us. But actually, we're going to have the unofficial results here, it seems. I think that might do it. With 5 minutes left remaining in the session, I think that's going to be your unofficial results here.
They're going to give the win to Colburn, and he's going to take the checkered as he's doing some celebratory burnouts.
Whipping some victory shitties.
Tim Collier, Jay Dargert getting up there into the top 3, Cologne and Zabelski all in your top 5.
And how about the finish here for Caleb Colburn? He had a great race running up front throughout most of the race here, and he's going to be going backwards here, it seems. Going across. Oh, no, he's going to go whip some victory shitties in front of the start-finish. And wait a minute. Are we going to see a Kevin Tipton? We're going to see a Kevin Tipton here.
My favorite type of burnout, just tearing the tires up until they're balled up against that wall there, and that's a beautiful burnout. 10 out of 10 in my book.
And that's going to be your race winner, Caleb Colburn. And I believe we're going to go ahead and shift on over here to our broadcasting channel. I think we might take a couple interviews, if I'm not mistaken. Correct, Kevin?
Yeah, I think we're going to try to get a couple of the guys in here and see what they have to say about how that one went. A very fun 100 laps of racing.
And yeah, we'll go and get transferred over there to the interview room now.
You got me, Luke?
Yep, I read you.
Yeah, all right, and that was a great finish. I think we had 5 or 6 cautions, some unfortunate endings for a couple of the guys, but all in all, a great race for a lot of guys. And how about a win for Caleb Colburn?
Yeah, it was a very, very exciting finish here. We'll have to receive a little more word here on what the official ruling was there at the end, the reasoning there. I know we still had 5 minutes left in the race session, but I'm sure we'll receive some word here. But how about the win here for Caleb Colburn? And I think, do we want to get him in here for the
Let's
post race
invite him in
interview?
here and see what he has to say about that race.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued to hear it.
Hey, Caleb, guys in the booth, can you hear me?
Yep, I got you, man. What's going on?
Hey, how about that finish, man? It was a great race, great 100 laps. We had a blast. Can you talk us through? We're new to the series. Was that more of a timing issue that they called the race there, or is there no green, white checkers, or how did that one go?
So most speedways we do no green, white checkers, but super speedways we do 1 green, white checkered. So after that 1 green, white checkered, if there's a caution or anything, that's about it. That's the race.
All right, I got you. So yeah, you get the victory under caution, and it was in your rear view, so you might not be able to talk on it too much, but you have any comments on the wreck there at the end involving Dargert getting into I want to say Braun and Lidke?
Yeah, I didn't see exactly what happened. It looked like maybe somebody just got a bad push or something and got them turned sideways. I'd have to watch the replay on that, but it's unfortunate for sure. I thought we were gonna have a pretty close battle there to the line. It's been a pretty close race pretty much the entire time. So
yeah, once again, thank you, Caleb, for coming in here and giving us the interview. We had a blast tonight, our debut with the CMS League, and once again, congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm excited to go back and watch the broadcast. But yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yep, appreciate it.
That was Caleb Colburn, your race winner, and Luke, any final thoughts about this one? As we might try to rally 1 or 2 more guys in here, see if they want an interview.
For me, it was quite an exciting race here. I know there was quite the what wasn't quite as many cautions as we saw in the previous broadcast we had out here on the channel, but still exciting nonetheless here, and a very exciting finish. And I think we we had Marcos Hernandez in here, but I don't know if he's still in here. I don't know if we're gonna get any other interviews in here, but yeah, it was an absolute exciting race here. Very entertaining for our first race here on display for our first broadcast here for Champion Motorsports. And I believe, we have Marcos Hernandez back in here again. Do we want to bring him in here for a post-race?
Yeah, see what Marcos has to say about how that race ended. He was able to get a top 10 out of it, so good race for him. As he unofficially reads for me, finished 9th, so I'm going to get him in here.
Yeah, hear what he has to say.
Oops. That might have been on me. I clicked something. Marcos, guys in the booth, can you hear me?
Marcos, you read us? Here's maybe some communication issues.
Yeah, maybe not.
Put a pin in that one.
For Marcos, how about we get our race runner-up, Tim Collier, in here? Hey, Tim, guys in the booth, can you hear me?
Are we doing something wrong here?
We might be.
I've never used Discord broadcast.
Okay, yeah. I just remembered I had pushed a talk still set. So my apologies there. How you doing, guys?
I was worried. Not too bad, Tim. How you doing?
Hey, doing all right. I need to go put a little Ben Gay on my knuckles after that one, but otherwise doing great.
Hey, I mean, a great finish to a great race. You got up there into the podium position. I don't know if you want to comment on that wreck there at the end, but it knocked Braun out of it. I know I was rooting for the Jeff Gordon scheme myself, but just you want to talk us through how that one finished?
Now come on, you can't. You're pulling for Gordon schemes, man. I'm an Earnhardt, so
There it
all right.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lucas
So
too.
all right. So all I know is Drew Lidke was just up front most of the race, my teammate, and just I was not behind him for those last 10 or 11 laps, and I was feeling so bad. I was like, I'm going to push somebody else past him to win the race. And then, then we get the green white checker, and Caleb's already told me, he's like, text me, and he goes, hey, push me as hard as you want. And I'm like, should I miss a shift, or should I, know, help my teammate, or just, oh, I didn't know. But no, I stuck on it and got on his back bumper. And then as we came out of two there on that last lap, it looked like I'm looking in the mirror, so you never know, but I haven't looked at the replay yet. I didn't know if Davis was looking for the split up the middle or if he got pushed from behind and turned. And next thing I know, Drew's telling us over chat, over Discord, he's like, I don't know how many barrel rows I did there. So that didn't sound very good.
I think we
But,
counted 4 or 5.
well, we're going to have to put that in our Sunday night truck record book then and just start keeping up with it. So, but it was
Yeah.
overall, the race itself was fantastic. Everybody in this group consistently races like this week in and week out. We've had several caution-free races.
Yeah, and it was a great race. We had a few cautions that were to be expected. Nothing like the disaster we saw last night. But all in all, great race. I gotta ask. You said Lidke's your teammate. We saw he was on a completely different strategy than anybody else out there in the field. Last lap before that green white checkered was on 63. You think he had it to the end there?
Oh, you mean as far as fuel goes?
Yeah, just fuel, tires, anything in
we
regards to he was
all
on
of
the older car.
Yeah, when all of us pulled in for that pit stop, crew chief's telling you you can't make it to the end. You know how wise that guy is, and so we're just trying to figure out. We get back out on the track, and I start looking at the numbers, and I go, guys, I think we can make it. It's going to be really close, and so we're chugging along. And Chris Hudson, who is another of my teammates, he was running up front, and he's like, I gotta back off if I'm gonna save gas. I can't be out front. And but then a caution came out and kind of threw all that out the window. But we were gonna be really close, and I think we were really on par to make it.
Yeah, and it was very interesting to see those different strategies, but in the end, you kept it up front and got the podium finish. So congratulations, Tim. Thanks for having us. I think
Well,
we're gonna get
thank
a
you. I
couple more
am
interviews
super
in.
excited. I can't wait to watch the broadcast, and really appreciate having Ninth Gear jump on board with our series. And I'm looking forward to more races over the coming weeks and months, hopefully. So thank you guys.
All right, once
We
again,
appreciate it.
congratulations. And that was Tim Collier, P2 finisher, and I think we're going to get 2 more in here tonight. First, I want to get on with Davis Braun, who has dominated a lot of these races. Luke ran up front all day. Once again, I was, rooting for him a little bit with the scheme, but we're going to get him in here maybe and see what he has to say about tonight.
Yeah, currently 3 wins on the season. Definitely want to hear how this race went on his end.
Hey, Davis, guys in the booth, can you hear me?
Yeah, you guys got a copy?
Yep. You ran up front all race. It was a great race for you. Then there at the end, a little bit of contact, miscommunication, maybe something happened with Jay Dargert, and everything kind of fell apart from there. But you want to comment anything on that, or how the rest of the race went?
Yeah, I mean, overall, it was a really great race. Kind of really happy with how it all went. Nervous in the beginning with the fuel since it was going to be tight on two stops, 3 stints if it went green on the whole way, but that early caution really helped out with that, and also had great timing to watch the end of the real race there. Won't say anything more about that. But yeah, so then the middle part was a lot of fun. Could kind of open up a bit, like got to lead a few laps, push Caleb around a bit, and I think push a few other people around. That caution at lap, what did you guys say, lap 63?
Yeah.
As Tim was saying, it was really tight on fuel, so I think I dropped in after about pushing him and Chris around a little bit, and was probably good to the end if I just kind of kept that throttle position, but was also going to be nerve wracking when we were going a bit harder the last 5 laps. So the last caution there, or maybe not last caution, the next caution really helped out. But then I had the terrible pit stop because I overshot my pits. And then when I went in reverse to get back into the pit, it like once I got in my box, it like kicked me out of the game. So I had to rejoin and then go around again. And so that's, if you caught on the broadcast that I pit twice, that's pretty much why. Because I just went around. I was like, okay, I'll put the fuel and tires on since it got a little loose in the tri-oval, and yeah, just made the way kind of back to the front. Was happy with the position on that last caution, and then kind of just chilling behind Tim, and the next thing I know, there's a wall in my face and I'm flying through the air. So that's really gonna wake you up. But I did look at the replay, and I mean, with what was it, the next to last lap, if I was in Jay's position, I would have gone for that same gap. I mean, there was a gap there. So yeah, nothing, no harm. Well, lots of harm after that, but no harm, no foul, I guess, in a way. Yeah, glad to hear
Yeah.
you like the Jeff Gordon scheme. I really run it just to annoy Tim because I know it drives him crazy. But then I'll also say that, it's 30 years since the first championship, so good timing on that.
Yeah, and one more question I gotta ask you before we get you out of here. About lap 5 or 6, we saw William Byron in the old Jeff Gordon scheme actually won the 500. Is that something that you were rooting for? Are you sticking with the 24 or?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So some celebration tonight for Davis Braun, despite the little unfortunate incident at the end of this race. Great finish for the Daytona 500, and still in a great position in this season for you. So
It's a good
congratulations
trend.
and
I'll
thanks.
take it. Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for broadcasting it. Really appreciate it.
Yep. Once again, Davis Braun. And Luke, I think our last interview we're going to get in is actually, I want to say he got into the podium and got the P3. I can't really tell. The results we're seeing is just how they were stacked up at the end of that second caution. But I want to say Jay Darger got into the podium position. He was involved in that last incident, so I'm going to get him in here and see what he has to say.
Yeah, let's bring him on in here.
Hey, Jay, guys in the booth, can you hear me?
Hey, how are you, fellas, man? Appreciate you broadcasting the race and bringing us up here to chat with you.
Yeah, thanks. And I gotta ask, first off, was that the P3 podium finish for you, officially?
Well, you always want to win, but finishing in the top three is a good finish for us. Teammates that I had working with us a little bit, trying to make things happen, saving fuel through the whole race, and trucking on down there. Just noticed that Drew was leaving a lot of middle gaps in the during the course of the race when I was behind him, and so I kind of planned on that middle shot, that middle gap at the end there, and then he came down to block it, and it was too late, and then I got into Davis and Drew, and that kind of wrecked the whole rest of the race for the people behind us.
Yeah, and we saw Drew was on that strategy. We saw he was on that top line. He was pretty loose, and then it kind of seemed like he started to sway into you when you shot for that gap. So we're gonna chalk that one up to a racing incident, I think. But great race for you. I was asking about that third place because we can't really see. We see the unofficial results at the end of the races as broadcasters, just because it was that finish under caution. But as you've cleared up, you did get the podium finish. So congratulations for that. And are you looking forward to the next week's race at I think Atlanta?
Yeah, I'm not sure where we're going, but yeah, I enjoy these races. I've raced with a lot of these guys for a long time. Raced with Drew for years, and Chris Hudson and all these guys. So none of us are here to take anybody out on purpose. It's just it's one of those racing deals, and it happened, and we'll move on to the next one, and we'll all still be friends in the long haul.
Yeah, once again, Jay, congratulations on the podium finish, and thanks for the interview.
Appreciate it, Kevin. Appreciate it, Luke. You guys have a good night.
Hey, you as well, buddy.
That was P3 Jay Dargert, and I think that's going to about do it for Ninth Gear's interviews and the rest of our broadcast, Luke. I had a blast. Very fun race to watch. What did you think? Any final thoughts?
Hey, it was definitely a nice change up coming from that previous race. I know we've been commenting on it all night. It I'm still trying to add up the hours of sleep that I lost over that previous race. And the pace that we had tonight was definitely a very refreshing change up. Very excited to be in this new league. And I know I'm, for one, looking forward to Atlanta, assuming that's the track we're going to be going to next week. Personally, one of my favorites, and really looking forward to it. And want to thank all you guys for watching and joining us here for another exciting race at Daytona. And we will be seeing you guys. When is our next race? Or next broadcast again?
We're working some things out for this coming week. Maybe Wednesday we'll have one. I think we're guaranteed one at least Friday night. So, we'll get the schedule updated, but our next coverage is going to be same time next Sunday night, assuming CMS picks us back up. So, looking forward to the coming week of races, and it's been fun tonight, Luke.